What semifinals are you going to?
Syndicate.
Welcome to the Spin. 2 weeks. I will be in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ready for some Syndicate Crown. I'm pumped. Tyler?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me 3.
That's right. And Hobart, I'm sure, is extremely
Him
pumped
4.
as well. Mr. Pepper, I'm deep into my bike. Boys, give me something good tonight. Well, we do have the one and only J.R. Howell will be joining. Yeah, exactly.
All four of us?
Yeah, why not? And
That's
Pedro.
super mega
We'll make
big.
it 5. Yeah, I'll bring Pedro. No, J.R. Howell will be here joining us in 15 minutes if we can get through some viewer comments. John, the Frenchman, has made his predictions for the French Throwdown. Yeah, exactly. We brought back some blind rankings for this week. I got some news about other things we're cooking up. And then we'll talk about no drugs and tests and whatever else we can think of to wrap up the show. But first, it's always time for some good viewer comments. All right, first up. There we go. At Tevs26, didn't cover the Far East. Most dominant performance was by Syria Meha. John switched to talking about Hopper at French. That doesn't sound like John. I feel like he would stay on topic.
We didn't talk about Far East. It's a fair comment.
You can't dominate if there isn't anybody there that's relevant. Like if I go play basketball against a bunch of 6th graders and I tell you guys, y'all, I played pickup the other day and I was dominating them and just didn't say who I was dominating. Like there's nothing there.
What do you think about Syria, Miss Mayhaw?
Hey, Mike. Hey, John, check your mic. I think you're on your laptop.
It says I'm on road.
That
I don't
echo's
know,
just
man.
built in.
I was excited for her, and then she was kind of let me down at the games. So I right now I'm just like she's just there, lower mid tier. I do think she's one of the fittest women in the world. I think she's but she's not.
She's like
exciting.
a Sun Young Troy. Like she'll be
Sun
she'll be
Young
like
Troy's a good-
18th to 23rd.
Yeah.
She'll do fine, but I don't think
There's not going to be events where she like does really well at like she's not going to like specialize in a certain event and like beat somebody relevant. She's just going to be there.
which is
Not
fine.
that she's not deserving.
We
I would
need
rather
people like
her
that.
than yeah, sure, yeah. There's a place for her.
I don't know. I feel like this is me making up stories again, but I feel like has the potential to be very, very good. Like someone who's going to be top 5 in 3 years, but that's me hoping. I don't know. Also, Kenneth, I know. I need
Hold your breath.
I can't. We were at the 24 games. It was me, Pedro, and JR in a car, and we were going to get C4s and coffees. This is like 7 in the morning. And Pedro just like, it's dead quiet. And Pedro goes, Tyler, are you okay? It's like, what's wrong? He goes, why are you breathing so hard? I was like, I just breathe this way, dude. I can't freaking help it.
You're like a bulldog. You can always hear the bulldogs breathing. I saw something up here.
Dang,
I thought it
Tyler,
was
you're
true.
a bulldog. If you were a dog, that's rough.
I don't think that's true.
Did you get it? Rough.
Wow.
Wake apnea.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know if Dallin probably quit by now. All right, next up. At BootyCat37.
Booty cat.
Yeah, BootyCat. New game. Tyler will beat John at. Show athletes' butts and see who can name it first.
You could not beat me at this game.
I don't care to beat you at that game.
Male, female, judge, C-suite exec, I would kill it.
That's what you spend your time on. It's not predictions or research. It's
Let's not get carried away now.
Yeah, get out of here.
Sorry. My volume was jacked up because of last week when I was trying to overcompensate for having a bad thing. I hopefully just fixed it.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe we'll throw some booty shots in there and see if Tyler can win. Maybe next week. Next up, at Cody Gifford, is Corinne Pepper streaming? This is a reference to Syndicate, asking for a friend.
There is potential for a Grace Ann cam.
No, we will prosecute to the fullest extent if you do that. We cannot allow any pirate streams.
I welcome it, but I will come ask you to come up to the booth and film.
You could do that.
I can make you a cameraman in a heartbeat.
We could always use some help. You never know.
We need camera people.
That's right. That's right.
I actually think that's why Jason went to French Throwdown, because he's going to be one of the cameramen for Syndicate.
Yeah, he's going to qualify, and then we'll just
Do
throw
you
him out on
think
the
we
floor.
could get him? Do you think
There's no way he'd be good at it. There's no way he'd be good at it.
Yeah, but just
I would
for,
trust
like,
Grace Ann over Hopper to be
just
holding
for
the camera.
Picture of Hopper holding a camera and trying to be a cameraman. Can we get him to be a cameraman for one event? I think it'd be great. Yeah, just one event. Be the Hopper cam.
We could throw him on the tripod.
All right, back to the Hopper cam, and then him just fumbling around trying to get a good shot of something. Dude, I think
he's too big. He's too big to be holding the camera.
We'll throw him on a tripod.
We could have him hold two cameras.
Tripod.
Yeah, tripod. You're on the tripod.
I think it would be great. Just one event. We'll call it the Hopper cam, and then and we'll just see if it works. Well, just for the bottom heats.
I'd want one camera on him though.
And I'll only say
camera.
names. I'll only say names, and he won't know who the names are.
First heat of teams.
Yeah.
Is where we'll put them.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like Hopper, go to Kevin's to Winnipeg, and then he'll be like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Just figure it out, man." And just let's just see who he puts it on. You know what
It's
I mean?
like Shane Gillis's joke with Matt McCusker's wife as the WNBA star, but she wasn't a WNBA star at all. And you're just shouting out names, and they're not there.
Or like Training Think Tank, and then it's like somebody who used to be on Training Think Tank, but they're not there anymore. Like we'll do something like that.
Just bait him.
Yeah.
We step on Legos, Heat 1, and he'd be like, "What?"
We step on Legos, Hopper. Come on.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I think it'd be amazing. Do you think he'd be down for it?
What else is he doing?
For the community.
Talking.
Is it well, I guess we'll get to it later. Go ahead. Next thing.
Yeah, I don't know. See, Vicky, the Hopper cam, that'd be awesome. Let him do athlete interviews.
I think he would be bad at athlete interviews. I don't think he would be good at athlete interviews at all. He's like, "Hey, man, how was that event?" That's what he would
Better
do.
than some.
Like,
Speaking about what we were talking about before the show.
You did great. You did great. Like,
Yeah, that would be a good one. I don't know if he's going to be there early enough. Yeah, I don't know what his plan is. I don't know when he'll be in Knoxville, but we might try to use him. Next up, at James in the gym.
James, get back in the gym.
It's Just Americans. If anyone else went, this is at Copa Sur, it would have been grand. Americans going to Brazil to liberate game spots is very U.S. of them.
Liberation. I like that.
I mean, we weren't upset that Lucy and Victor came into Mayhem and grabbed some spots. It's a little different. They got invited, but
It is wild because it's like it's just ignoring the fact that they aren't good enough.
the men are.
Are they?
Both men from South America qualified.
Oh, that's true.
Jorge couldn't get it through.
But
Jorge's been
not
to the
really.
games.
He has been to the games. I'm sorry.
Speaking of Jorge, he's going to be out at NorCal. I saw him on the roster.
Listen, we can go and take your dictator anytime we want. We'll go and take our game spots too. Okay.
Does Brazil have a dictator?
I don't know. It's not about Brazil's government, but I'm just saying that if we can go and just take anybody out at any time we want to, including CrossFit game spots, if you have a problem with it, then take it to us. I don't care.
Are you a little surprised that there isn't somebody in South America that's good enough?
I live at 3811 Cherry Street Lane, Fulshear, Texas, 76344.
Why would you dox yourself?
Come to my doorstep. Any Brazilian, come to my doorstep, and we'll have a chat. Okay?
I don't even... the actual question, why don't you think anybody, like the South Americans are good enough to qualify? Like, they couldn't beat Miley, who, granted, she's turning out to be good, but she's never been to the games.
Little girl goes and smacks y'all around. I could crush her skull with my hand. That's how small she is. And she's just whipping y'all up and down.
She ain't coming to Syndicate Crown to visit now, is she?
No, Miley's great. I'm just saying she's a little bitty thing and just ruined y'all.
Matt, I want you to know I make some crazy edits that never see the light of day. They get vetoed.
We might bring that back. There's a reason why I might bring it back now. But, I mean, Brazil is like a growing, like huge growing CrossFit area, and for them, like, to not be able to be, like, again, no running definitely helped Annika, no doubt. Have, like, a lot of the heavy stuff, Miley showed that she could lift with them, but you would think that, like, one of them would have been, like, in contention. Like, Annika's missed year after year after year. She may have gotten over that hurdle. You have a rookie who's 18 or 19 years old. And there's nobody from South America that could even be like that close.
Entre in forma. Yeah. Y'all know what I said. Entre in forma. Brazil. Entre, in forma.
Wait, what was it?
I can't speak language for you.
Listen, Ortega, it's close enough, and she trains out of Miami. She's now American. Just like New Zealanders are from Australia, Canadians are from the U.S.
Getting into your
CrossFit
question a little bit more, why do you think that is? It's like the European women's. Well, the European women really took off, but it seems like athletic culture for the women's a little bit better.
I think just athletic in general is better.
I don't know. When I think of Brazil or South America at all, I think of very, very, very athletic. But they're also
of soccer, though. That's it.
I mean,
that's it. It's not like Dominican Republic, right? Like it's like all the baseball players come from there, right? It's in Cuba, you know, all around the place, right? But like I'm thinking, Brazil. How many Brazilian baseball players do you know? It's just soccer.
Well, they don't.
Or Argentinian.
They really play baseball.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you say, I think athletic. It's one thing. I don't know of any other thing. There's some decent lifters from Brazil, but they're not like the
World
best.
Class.
Best. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because they've not had enough time to.
I know
advance.
why.
Oh, okay.
I know why. It's because they can't get over themselves. They live in a bubble and they think that the best people that are in their little bubble are the best in the world. Anytime any Brazilian does anything, the comments are flooded of support, and it's awesome. They're a community unto themselves. Listen, if I was Brazilian, I would love being from Brazil. They really do like back each other, but it's to a false narrative. Like it's like
Oh, we found one.
Okay. I'm trying to think of where like a good analogy right now. I don't have a good analogy, but they believe that their best people are like, there is nobody better. There is a famous, it's not just sports. It's, there was a girl that did the national anthem at the Grid League finals, and I had never heard of her. And I was like, who's the, like, they made a big post about her. Like, she was famous and stuff. And I had no idea who her name was. And I looked her up, and she's famous in Brazil, and she's got millions and millions of followers. And I had never heard her name. Just as many followers as freaking Ariana Grande. And I had no clue who she was, but she's from Brazil. They're in there. I'm saying they have their little bubble, and there's so many people down there that it hurts them. It hurts them because they don't look at the world. They look at just them. Dude, this is so true if you really, really look into it. I promise you.
I think a lot of countries would say the same thing about us because we only give a shit about our sport.
Okay, but we're the best at our sports.
Yeah, but like, okay.
Listen, Tyler.
You talk about American football, it's like, okay, we're the best.
Tyler. If David Beckham, he's not even from here. He's from England. Landon Donovan. I would never, ever say Landon Donovan is the best soccer player in the world. He's the best American soccer player, but we suck at soccer. Like, our best lifters, we suck at lifting. Olivia Reeves aside. Olivia Reeves is the best in the world. But if, like, Hampton Morris, it's like me saying Hampton Morris is the best male lifter, 64 kilo class in the world, y'all can't touch him. It's just not true. There's a whole bunch of little 15-year-old Chinese kids who are better than Hampton Morris. And it's not, and like, I'm telling you guys, they don't believe that. They don't look at the world. They look at just themselves.
What about Ohtani?
What about Ohtani? Ohtani's filthy.
He's great.
He's also a genetically modified individual.
On top of that, they the freaking drug culture is crazy. Like, I mean, we all
yeah, I was gonna say, like, we suck at weightlifting because we have USADA we have to deal with.
No, I'm not even gonna bring that into that. But like, I'm saying, like, South American drug culture, it's just wild. And
shouldn't they be better then?
You guys know it. I don't think so. If you take shortcuts, you never know what real hard work is.
I mean, it worked for all the
Bulgarian
weightlifters,
right?
And Russians for years.
And CrossFit?
Maybe not.
And if you guys think I'm wrong, then you're not being honest with yourself, because 100% that is the truth. I think they hurt themselves.
Yeah, I need to.
When somebody's better, it's okay to say they're better. And then you will be better for it because you know there's better out there. Don't lie to yourself.
That's very true. All right, next up. At Kyle Dotson, if CrossFit is going to do a paywall, then they need to just partner with Charter Spectrum and have their own TV channel so we can finally get some quality CrossFit shows.
Who's Charter Spectrum? Is it just Spectrum?
I think it's just a cable provider.
Yeah, but what good would that do?
I don't know. If there was, like, what would happen though if CrossFit was like, like they had the NBA network, NFL network, CrossFit network, and next thing you know, they had 24/7 of shows, like we were syndicated on those shows.
I mean, I talked to you and Hiller about doing this. I think this is a really good point, man. I'm glad you brought this up. This is what they should do. There's
like Flow Elite.
No,
they should have that channel.
So back in the day, it was basically HQ, Barbell Shrugged, and like that was it.
Wad Prep,
and
or
now,
not Wad Prep. Arm and Hammer.
Arm and Hammer.
Wadcast podcast.
But like nobody was doing anything, so anything HQ put out, everybody was right there to watch it, right? And we don't have that anymore, and I think it's a huge problem for them. And so one of the things that I think that they should do, and they should have already thought of this a long time ago, is start collaborating, coordinating with the shows that already exist. You see this with the Boys Interrupted, which is an easy one because they're athletes. But like, and I'm not trying to do like a Scott thing here, Where I'm like,
Clydesdale or Vandersloot?
I'm not trying to do it. Yeah, Clydesdale thing here. I'm not saying like you should give us more shine. I'm just saying like no one's watching your channel. Like the numbers are atrocious on the HQ side. And so like to bring that back in, even if you're just doing it just so you can leverage the viewers back into your thing and then ditch everybody later, that's 100% what I would do.
Do you think you could do like if there was a 24/7 live like CrossFit stuff? Like
there's enough
all
shows.
All the shows, like it may not even be live, but like they took our show and they put it on at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. on Thursday mornings or something.
The
right?
shows would have to get pretty creative
to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, you'd see a lot more stuff like Kill Taylor or game shows, different things like that.
But maybe it starts if there's that opportunity.
Yeah.
All right, we need to. We have one more comment, but I wanted to bring on Mr. J.R. Howell, Crash Ice.
Before you bring this comment up, Spin, JR, what do you think about Brazil? What's their problem?
It's a beautiful country. What do you mean?
Why aren't they better? I gave my reasoning. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I would love to know.
I didn't.
It's a good listen. You should scroll back when we're done with this Syndicate workouts.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's any different than the United States and probably Europe and also Asia, but I imagine that they're not feeding their prodigal youth from a like savant standpoint athletically to the sport of CrossFit. They're probably sending them to soccer and all other sports. So I don't really see it as being a sport outside of weightlifting, like Olympic weightlifting. I don't know if it's government funded or not, but like how some of the European countries are government funded, like the sport of fitness, CrossFit, people can get paid to do it. So it makes more sense that you would see more strides there. I don't know what other reason that they wouldn't be better at CrossFit. What was your reasoning?
Well, I don't think we have time to go on. I mean, I ranted on for a minute, but
Okay.
I
One suggestion, you can do it, but
I don't think
really...
America's any different than Brazil in that aspect, though. And like what you just said.
Yeah, like you mean like the really, really good athletes wanting to play football or wanting to play baseball.
Correct.
Or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's more so in America that would be the deal than in Brazil because you only got one sport, essentially. That kind of takes over for them, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I would love for you to text me after you hear what I said because I think people are afraid to just say the truth.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Next thing.
All right, last one, and this is just to start off on a good foot with JR. At Kathy Stan, JR should be
I would like to not read. You could just take that down.
Okay, let's just pull up.
I'll skip this one.
Let's pull up Romans.
In fact, I wish he was my GPS voice. How about that? You could be on the next Garmin.
Say recalculating real quick for me.
or just rewind it back.
All right. Actually, for the real reason we brought JR, the individual workouts for Syndicate Crown have been released. And just like teams, we wanted to get some insight into why we brought, why JR programmed a wheelbarrow, why he has rope climbs at 4 legless, three legs, or vice versa. Is there too much running? Is there not enough running? We want to get into all that stuff. So without any further delay, the individual workouts are here. Let's just get right into it. First one, ball till you fall. D-ball squat cleans, box jump overs, rowing, burpees to target, and then back down, rowing, box jump overs, and D-ball squat cleans. This is the long one, 22 minutes.
Not long enough.
Yeah, I mean, depending on who you ask, for sure, we should be going to the 30-plus minute time domain, since at the games we typically see a couple that are 30 minutes plus. So, I mean, I think an argument can be made there. I think if there's a decision to be made of like, do we do 6 events? Do I get to maybe test something a little different versus do I do 5 and do I just do one that's over 30 minutes? I think generally the same thing can be accomplished in a 20-minute workout as a 30. And I think at this level specifically, classic CrossFit trumps all. I really do. I think that there's a time and a place to test certain things. And I think that not many people are going to slip through the cracks as long as you're pretty strategic with what movements you put and what combinations. I think 6 is a good number to have. And I think for this workout specifically, if it was 30 minutes, it would do nothing more for the test. I think like for this style of mixed modal long CrossFit, this is as long as it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I think
separations will be made.
that, I think a 22-minute workout is with this type of, like these type of elements, is doesn't need to be 30 minutes. Whereas like a run, if you want to do a long run, I think it needs to be closer to 30 minutes to really test that. Like, I think those are different. And like, if you just, again, like you add 30 minutes of these movements, I don't think you get much more out of it.
Yeah, without getting too like, I guess, crazy into the programming weeds, I know I'm already going to talk my head off on this. Single modality, single movement can be done, has to be done really, really well. And it has been done at the semifinal level if you have some balance between the 3 modalities for sure. But I think single modality specifically, if you have like an all weightlifting couplet or triplet or all gymnastics. I mean, my favorite year of programming at this level was 2018, which started off with a triplet, triplet, triplet. One was mono, one was weightlifting, one was gymnastics. I think it's like crazy creative and it balanced each other well and everything. And that year they did 333, which was in that 30+ minute time domain. But I think even in that workout, and some people would argue with me, if that workout would have been 2K row 200 double 1 or 2 mile run, it's pretty close. The finishes are pretty close. So I think in this workout, those classic chippers from back in the day, like obviously there's a couple hundreds chippers. There's a 50s chipper, which this was kind of modeled after with the ring dips in the middle, light deadlifts, box jump overs, rowing. And then the 2 hints that were posted this week on Sunday and Monday, the last chance qualifier hint was the burpees to target, because we're going to use the plexiglass from the handstand push-up and tape lines, and the athletes will work their way down the floor, and after the row they'll be facing the start mat where the rig is, and they'll do 25 burpees lateral to the plexiglass, reaching up and touching with one hand, and then at 26 they'll turn around and they'll face the rower because they're coming back down the chipper, and they'll use the other hand. So that LCQ 100 burpees for time was just a clue that we were going to use that movement, not necessarily 100 burpees for time. And then the D-ball squat clean was the rogue thumbnail. We put Colton in there. I said I wanted to pick at least one of the athletes that actually did that workout, and I think there's 5 of them that are coming. Saxon, Colton, Danielle, Haley, and then I think maybe Pat was the 5th one. So it was cool that some of those athletes who did that movement, I guess the first time and maybe the only time it was programmed in a big competition, are actually going to be doing it 6 years later. I thought was pretty cool. So a little bit of an unknown element, a little bit of I do squat cleans all the time, but I never use a D-ball. And if I do anything, I use a sandbag. So if you have one, great. I know a lot of athletes have already told me they mess around with it today. It's not really that hard to catch on to, but it is a little different, especially like in the trunk, a lot more midline stabilization on like the obliques. If you're going to alternate, I think that's better, kind of balances everything out. If not, that hip just kind of takes a beating on that side that you're going to be going to the whole time. And, but in general here, yeah, guys, just base capacity, leg dominant. I think the workout is the 100 squat cleans for most people. If you're bad at burpees, you're definitely, there's a hole there in your fitness. I don't think there can be too much separation there, but I think all the movements in here matter. And I know last year with the hundreds, having the echo bike at the beginning was kind of a throwaway. I kind of acknowledged that after the fact. And so I wanted to make sure that the calories really counted. And I think having them sandwiching the burpees is is the perfect place for them.
Box jump overs. Is that a step down? Is that rebounding?
It is. It is mandatory step down. It'll be the 30-inch surface, big foam plyos. So that kind of longer jump across.
On the D-ball squat cleans, are you allowed to touch and go? Or are they required singles?
Touch and go for sure is allowed. And anyone that wants to watch like some of the best people in the world cycle that movement, that year it was rowing, D-ball squat clean, D-ball step over, strict handstand push-ups, and then back down. That was their workout. And I went back to watch just to do some research of like how long reps per second and all that, reps per minute, all that kind of stuff. And they allowed them to just leave both hands on the ball, which I really like. So there is no hand release. So you'll do the squat clean, you can receive it, stand up with it with both hands securing it, and that's the rep. So as soon as you lock out hips and knees, you're good. So if you wanted to go touch and go, it would be a lot easier. You don't have to bring that hand back to the D ball. But then if you wanted to just drop it, there's the likelihood of it slipping off and getting a no rep is a lot less, which I like, because I don't, the ball getting sweaty is not why I want someone to get a no rep.
Yeah. It's going to be gnarly if there are people who get off on a race. I actually think it favors your really good squatters. Maybe more for the men's side than the women's side. The women's side, maybe the row might have a little more advantage. Just depends. Like if there was an Annika that was here, maybe not, but there isn't. So
yeah, I think you can make up a little bit of time everywhere. I think the box jump is where you make up or lose the least amount of time, and then I would say it probably goes to the rower and then to the burpee and then to the squats. I think the squat cleans, because it's going to be mostly singles for people in the back half, taking 6 seconds in between reps or taking 8 seconds in between reps really, really starts to add up over the course of 50. So the burpees is interesting because typically you see a burpee and you automatically think smaller athlete, but because they have to reach up and touch, it's just a little bit more, it's a little bit more effort. It just kind of levels the playing field. So I was listening to the show Taylor and Sevon did. It was a really good show. Like halfway through it, Taylor made a good point about when he looks at this workout, he kind of thinks it favors the bigger metabolic person and not necessarily the smaller metabolic person, which was interesting because I think the best two times could be someone like Colton and Austin, and it could be someone like Jason. Like I think both types of athlete profiles could do really well in a workout like this.
I just think that squat speed
for sure. Yeah, I ultimately, and I mean, this is definitely the squatting stamina test. Like, yeah, it's basic fitness, but like more targeted. This is like quads. This is squatting for sure.
Yeah, this is
for people who don't know how much burpees to target, equals the playing field. Go watch Chaos when they're doing the burpees to the line, and Fikowski and Fraser are right next to each other, and you see the two extremes of if a guy who can just reach it and a guy who has to jump 8 inches, and they essentially are going at the exact same cadence. I think Matt is still a hair faster, but like there was no burpees being made up. Like across 40, maybe one was made up. It's not like every 4 burpees Colton will make up one on somebody. Like the burpees to target, like it's more of an equal for the playing field.
It's more costly for somebody like Colton and Austin.
Yeah. But I'm just like, go watch that Chaos with Fraser and Fikowski right next to each other. It's a really funny video. But like you'll see the differences and what that means.
Yeah, and like a lot of people asked about the feedback that CrossFit gave to the competition programmers, and Boz was our resource, gave us a ton of good feedback. One of the things he kind of helped with, I had this a lot taller. I had this at like 102, I think, for the men, maybe even 104. And he was like, hey, for reference, the straps for Chaos were whatever, 90 and 96. And he was like, Brent didn't have to jump, but Matt did. So it's like maybe a little taller than that would make sense. So, I mean, that was really good information because I've watched that workout a ton of times, but I never have known what the actual height of the red strap was. And the fact that they get to jump and touch with one hand is good here because you can get higher with one hand. Most people can reaching than they can with two, which they had to touch with two the year of the Chaos year.
And it's 8'2" is what.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just like it does help to be tall for sure. But it's not so high that like a really short athlete is going to struggle to touch it by any means. 92 inches is a standard pull-up bar height. So if you guys have done a competition like at the regional level, or even I think probably a lot of local competitions use that 92-inch pull-up bar height. If you can jump and touch that, you'd be able to touch the target.
What was your outside rig? What were those set to? Do you know?
Those are a little heavy. They're like 94.
Ooh, buddy, I don't know if I'm touching it.
You're touching it with one hand. Now,
Not after doing squat cleans and box jump overs and
Do you want to
rowing.
play this game, Tyler? JR can just pick between us two.
No, it's just-
we're going to do all these JRs.
we
so,
probably need to move on, right? It is a lot of legs. It should be good. It's day one is, I guess, what more people would call boring to watch, and that's okay. I think it's necessary. But everyone's going to feel this all weekend, which is why I like to put it first, kind of like last year was on the first
Calling
day.
it boring is like the hundreds last year and watching people just try to slog through it. Like, yeah, it was slower, but there was some great parts to that.
Crash outs, yeah. I feel like JR's evading this question because he has a clear favorite. I'm a little offended already.
What question?
Picking me or John.
My brain
Come
only
on, JR. Every single workout. Come on.
my brain only tries to predict what the people that want to go to the games are capable of.
We both want to go to the games, dude.
Get out of here. I think
full
you know.
for it.
I think you know the answer.
Me.
Maybe.
If it's squat endurance, Tyler, I think it's a wrap. I don't. Go ahead.
Friday afternoon.
You'll win this one. It's 1-1 right now, Tyler.
Yeah.
It's got GHDs in it, though.
3 rounds, 400 meters, 40 GHD sit-ups, 7 rope climbs, 4 legless for the men, 3 with legs, 3 legless for the women with 4 legs. Is this on a runner or is this going to be actually running?
Outside, it'll be a similar course to what they did the yoke repeater on last year, which last year was 8 rounds of 400. So it was a lot more running. And I know most people are kind of expecting a long running workout. It's another reason why I kind of wanted that medium time domain for the run, because I still wanted to do some old school classic long CrossFit for the, you would call endurance event, because we don't get that very often. It's more so aerobic based as we think monostructural type stuff. So this one, there's a couple that are in that moderate time domain, which I think is not hit all the time. This one should do that. I think it's going to be 13 to cap. I think the fastest people are going to be closer to 13, maybe sub 13 for the fastest. And then there's going to be a lot of people that get capped here. And they're going to be capped not because of their running pace or even because of their GHD cadence, but it's just going to be because they're just not good enough pulling with that big a chunk. So this rep scheme is from the 2016 405 deadlift workout. It was the first year they used the true form, and it was 400, 40, and then 7 deadlifts. So I really like that rep scheme as a really memorable one for me as far as like the old school regionals. And I wanted to do a pull, just not a pull from the floor. I think the legless into legs, it gives people obviously a chance to separate on the legless, this is a focused pulling test. And I think if you're someone that can do 2 pretty fast, but you can't do 3, or you're a male and you can do 2 or 3 pretty fast, but you can't do the 4th, then you already start to separate out. And then having to go from the legless to the legs is actually a lot more difficult than people will give it credit for. Those ones with legs are not as easy as you think they're going to be. And that's because you start feeling the GHDs a little bit more. So first 2 workouts, you don't think about the D balls as being a whole lot of like upper body engagement, but most people are kind of curling that implement. So it is still a lot of bicep fatigue going into the rope climbs. There's also a lot of midline in that first workout that you don't really see on paper. So these first 2 days are very much like legs and midline for sure.
The run, did you say where we were running?
Yeah, it's outside. Same course as the yoke repeater.
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like this one from a standpoint of you actually have to probably, if you want to be in the hunt to win it, you have to run the 400s harder than you want to.
Yeah, that's a perfect analysis of the way that the runs matter for the best. So like the people who want to go to the games, they're all can do 40 GHDs unbroken. They're all going to be within a rep on the rope. but it's like, hey, who's willing to run 6-minute miles the whole time, and who's willing to run a little harder, or who's not because they're just trying to let their upper body recover before they get back. The run is going to separate the best people, maybe even as much as the rope climbs will. But on paper, this is like, again, aggressive time cap, 15 minutes, 12 legless for the guys, 9 for the females, 21 for everyone. And if you think of it as 90-second splits, you're kind of got the right idea. And when it was tested, that was like a very consistent split. So it was about a 6-minute mile run with the transition on and off the GHD, 90 seconds-ish. And then the 7 rope climbs, 90 seconds-ish. So if you break that down, that's 13:30. Not a whole lot of wiggle room at the end. So, you're going to have to be a good puller. And obviously, you're going to have a lot of fitness to finish under the 15. But I kind of want people having to run the last round really hard and do the GHDs fast and unbroken if they know they're going to get capped, just to get back to the rope and get as much as they can get done. I mean, every legless rope climb, especially on the female side, could be lots of spots. So,
and the GHD sit-ups, you have another tape line again like last year?
Yep, it'll be the same as last year. Not quite bisecting it, but a little bit farther back than halfway.
Okay.
Is there a reason you went with 3 rounds and not 4? Just because you wanted to keep it lower?
It's already a lot of pulling, Tyler.
Well, it's more about that volume would not be necessary.
Okay.
I think 2 rounds would have not been enough. And I thought that those chunks were plenty dense to, like, they didn't need to do a set of 50 or 60 GHD sit-ups. Mm-hmm. But I also knew, just time domain wise, you add another round and it's just the same time domain as that first workout.
It's 22, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a slog. There's not a lot of intensity. I think for the fittest people, this rep scheme is going to keep it really, really intense. Those runs do not feel good because it's a race back to the GHD, like for the people who are really trying to qualify. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we could see another finish like we saw at Mayhem last year with the rope climb between Austin and Colton, right? Like,
yeah, if there's a few people in a race and they're looking at each other, who goes up for their 4th legless a little earlier than they want to, and then does it just become a grip thing for the ones with legs? It's not really you're pulling. It's just like, dude, I can't hang on to the rope anymore.
Yes, especially
14 feet was really important though for me and Wilson to put on there. I think for the longest time the regionals rig has been thought of as a 15-foot climb, and I think if you're getting that regionals kit, we know it's a little closer to 14, which is important because in testing, if you did this with a 15-foot rope, it would definitely feel a lot harder. So,
yep. It's Friday. On to Saturday. I've got some deadlifts. 355-pound deadlifts, 255 for the women, and then front rack lunges, 135-95. Lots of deadlifts this year, and this one is the heaviest we've seen so far.
Yeah, it was, said a little bit in jest, but when the open happened and then when the quarterfinals happened, I was like, hey, they're gonna be ready for the deadlift workout. Maybe like there's a lot of deadlifting. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a heavy deadlift in a workout, they did at the games last year with the axle bar, it's just kind of gone to the wayside. Like in the early years at this stage, you would see heavy deadlifts all the time. And they just kind of went away in lieu of snatching and cleaning or clean and jerk. You would just usually see Olympic lifts. And of course, last year, a lot of people did the heavy Isabel. And truthfully, though, this workout is 100% based off of the llama at Crucible, because that ascending deadlift with the just really, really targeted forward sled drag with your glutes is like, how do I get that same stimulus at a semifinal without a turf or a sled? And like doing these 2 barbell, this workout was originally sandbag squat on the shoulder sandbag lunge. You're just holding it for like 5 or 6 straight minutes. And I can't remember why, but one day, like me and Wilson were talking, and I was like, what if we had like a short bar for lunges and then a deadlift bar, and it was just a double weightlifting couplet? It's kind of cool. It's not really done very often. The front rack lunge isn't seen very often. Usually we see dumbbells or we see like an overhead lunge. So I think it's great. This might be my favorite workout because it's a sleeper for like how exciting it's going to be. The ascending rep scheme really, really, really separates people. And I knew that with this loading, it's heavy for sure, but it's more about it being 45 reps and being ascending. If it was descending, it would be more of a, okay, I have to hold on. But at this load, if you're that guy or you're that girl, you know you're going to try to hold on for the 12 or the 15, but most people know they are not that person. And they're like, hey, how do I get through these 15 and 12 with quick breaks, knowing that I still need to be able to lunge fast, because 250 feet of lunging, and it is going to be 50-foot shot. So it's a 60-foot grid. They're going to have their deadlift barbell, and then they're going to have their front rack lunge barbell right in front of it. There'll be 25-foot minimums unbroken, but you can go 50, run back to the bar, next round. So on the odd rounds, you're lunging toward the chest piece finish line, and on the even rounds, you're lunging back to your deadlift bar. So I think like the lunge is also going to be an opportunity for people to step through and not gather step at the top and take a breath. And you're going to see some changes there just as much as you are on the deadlift.
Dude, I think this is going to be
You can't be
like,
a caricature of yourself.
we're not going to hear from this guy until this event, and then Patrick Vellner is going to have like a nice like event to go home on.
I think he's going out to California, but I think Travis Mayer could give us that same experience. He's a really, really good deadlifter.
Vellner changed? He's on the list.
Yeah, I think he's going to NorCal.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to be taken off the list.
That's until he saw these workouts. Maybe he'll change his mind. Yeah, I like this one. Like you said, it's going to sneak up on you, but like you're going to have to do 3 full rounds before you even get halfway to the deadlifts. Like you're like, oh man, I got 3 of these things down. Wait, I'm not even halfway done.
Dude, I think grip, because the front rack lunge.
Nah.
You don't think
You're
so?
not getting any rest.
Nah, there's no grip.
Tyler would
It's not
be,
grip.
but
Yeah, the feedback from the testers was it just really hurts from the start to the finish. And
I do think your legs would get like
it's-
the llama feel.
yeah, this is like, we'll see it in the rest of the programming, but Wilson probably wants to just like ignore all my messages. But when I was still messing with them and tinkering them a little bit, I was just like, God, do we need a third squatting workout? Like, do we need more squats? Do we need more squats? And then finally I was like, this workout is an awful posterior leg workout. Like, this is just a leg workout. There's plenty of legs. And I'm glad that he kind of kept pushing back on me and be like, dude, with the lunges and the deadlifts, and we had it tested, everyone said all day Sunday, that's all they could talk about. It's just like, my butt is just so sore. So yeah, up to this point, I mean, it's really, really good from a programming analysis standpoint to look at what we've done for the first half of the competition. Lots of squatting, lots of midline, upper body pulling, and now posterior leg. We haven't really done any shoulders. We did some burpees because now the back half of the competition, where this front half was more midline and leg focused, now we're gonna get the shoulders for like the last 3. So that's definitely on purpose, and that's not the way I programmed Syndicate last year. I was kind of moving around every event. All right, let's hit the shoulders. Okay, let's hit the legs. Okay, let's hit the core. Okay, let's come back and hit the shoulders again. This one is a little bit more redundant just as the weekend goes on.
I also feel like the midline and the legs getting just thrashed in the first 3 is going to carry over to some of the events down the road too.
Yeah, I think like this next one, I think maybe Saturday is my favorite day just because the tests are so incredibly different with like kind of where they're attacking you. This one is still a heavy test. And then the next one, the weightlifting is super light for a ton of reps, and it's mostly gymnastics. So we can get into it. But
yeah, semifinal Nate.
Semifinal Nate actually said this on a Shut Up and Scribble show that Peter, we got that content out today, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, ever since the 4-7-12 was programmed, I mean, it's such a memorable workout because of the strict muscle ups, and very few people finished, especially on the female side. But I knew that if I just kept this rep scheme, and there's enough sevens, there's one on the second workout, and then there's a 7 to finish the competition. I was like, we can't use 7 again, and plus 4-8-12 is just easier to remember. 40 muscle ups, 80 strict handstand push-ups, and 120 light overhead snatches. Like, that is very clear what we're testing, right? This is the pressing stamina test for sure. And something good to note for the competitors that may be listening, you can use your grips. You can use your grips the whole time. So you can use your grips on the light snatches. I want people that think they can go unbroken the whole time to go unbroken. I don't want you to not go unbroken because you think you're going to rip your hands. So that'll be in the standards. But these light snatches, if you add them up, they equal the same single arm snatch weight from regional Nate, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, even with kipping, this is just going to make it more fun to watch to me, a lot more fun. It's going to be, all right, I'm going to try to hold on for as long as I can. I'm going to run the transitions from the kettlebells back to the rings. Who wants to kick up onto the wall first, I think ultimately is going to be the separator for most males and females. It's going to be who has the best pressing stamina and who doesn't have to shake out a lot after the 4 ring muscle ups every time, because it is gonna catch up a lot in the last few rounds, even for the best people.
I think they're all gonna burn the house down and it's gonna blow up. It's gonna.
I think they'll test it a lot and they'll know how much harder it is. Yeah, I think so.
I bet the men go out a lot hotter than the women do.
I agree. I think there's probably more levels on the female side. Like if I look at the field and I look for the best gymnasts, I think comparatively the best gymnast and the worst gymnast, there's way more of a spread versus on the male side. But at the very top, I mean, those guys are like, I'm running to the kettlebells, I'm running back to the rings the whole time. I think it's going to be a lot more fun to watch and easier to watch than people think, just with the progression of moving the kettlebells every time. It's going to be clear who's in the lead. But the first 5 rounds, to John's point, everyone's going to think, I'm in it. And then the last 5 rounds.
And then you're just going to see like.
There's a lot of rounds, a lot of transitions. I imagine the kettlebells are moving down the floor, so those transitions will get longer when you want more rest.
And people underestimate like the running involved in that. Like if you want to push the pace, it's like a 40, 50 foot run 10 times over. Like that matters in times of if you're going to finish within seconds of people.
Yeah. And so I really, as far as workout placement goes, this one was really important for me to get in before they really did any meaningful pressing or anything overhead, because I didn't want something on Friday or even earlier on Saturday to affect this, because I think the intensity needs to be there. They don't need to be doing this on Sunday when they're just thrashed. You know what I mean? So, you could argue that this is like more of a pressing strength workout because of the strict nature of the handstand push-up. Kind of like the deadlift is that, powerlifting brute strength type stuff. So
this will be a fun one, Tyler.
Yeah, I think
no words.
I think it'd be interesting to watch between you and I. There'd be some round where we just hard separate, and I don't know who it would go to.
I think you'll come out hotter than me and then blow up, and then I'll go back.
Probably that is my style.
I think that's what'll happen. I'm just gonna let you go.
I think also too on this workout, it's good to note this came from going back and just watching regional Nate. But back then, you were allowed to pull the first snatch from the floor. You didn't have to establish the hang. I was like, oh, that's smart. That way you don't get any stupid no reps if you're racing late. This year at quarterfinals, it was awesome that on the dumbbell hang squat clean, they said, yep, just pull the first one from the floor. I was like, oh, this is awesome. We can just continue this thought process. So when you get to the kettlebells, you can rip that first one and then just stay at the hang, which I think is great because it doesn't, no one gets any, oh, I forgot, or, well, the judge said I didn't open up my hips to start. Like, they're super light. Just pull it from the floor and then just start cycling it. So
yeah.
I'm not sure it'll still feel super light when you're over 100 snatches in, but
They're light for sure.
I mean,
It's
I just
very
the part-
will feel numb.
That's the part of this workout that would get me is the kettlebell snatches.
Yeah,
Just from a breathing perspective.
It makes. Well, I was going to say, Tyler, that's a good point. It makes what's coming after it harder every single round, right? Because you get a grip, kind of a grip pulling element, and then you get the press out element. But really, it's the one movement in the workout that gets your heart rate jacked up every single round, which is good. Yeah.
That's Saturday. Going into Sunday, 2 fast ones. That's where we bring in the wheelbarrow. A little bit of intervals there, 100-foot handstand walk, 200-foot wheelbarrow push and pull, 100 double unders rest, and then a different order rest. And then you finish with the wheelbarrow double unders and then a handstand walk.
Yeah, this name was really cool. I mean, a lot of people, we trolled a little bit with the triple unders. Obviously, there's different ways you can trip. You could trip on a box. You could trip going over a handstand obstacle. But I think for most people, they see it and they think double under. The workout has a lot of levels to it. It was the most exciting one to watch in testing by far. Like heart rate through the roof the whole time. It's super fast. You're not fatigued on the handstand walk until that last round. And honestly, it's the people that can go unbroken without any trips on the double unders that have the best chance of getting the best times. The handstand walk speed will separate, but I can tell you that for the male testers, one of them can run on his hands. One of them is not nearly as fast, but he's still very good. The one that didn't have any trips on the jump rope ended up winning by a second in the end. It was like, I don't know, 6:04 or something. They were doing like 2-minute rounds. They were flying. And it was like, it was like 6:04 and I don't know, 6:05. But one of the guys tripped in every round. He had a trip. And I'm telling you, it's just like the anxiety level of this event is so cool because it's every second count style. So whereas normally you would start an interval on the clock for everybody at the same time, if John finishes his double unders 5 seconds before Tyler, he starts his second interval 5 seconds before Tyler. So that anxiety of I'm already behind, that will get the execution element in this event is really, really unique because you feel how behind you are or how ahead you are pretty much the whole time. So
Yeah, especially that second round with double unders. You just finished 100. Say you messed up once, now you're behind.
You're rushing.
And now you're like, if I could just go a little bit faster, maybe I can make up a few of those because I can't make it up anywhere else.
You have to be smart enough to know not to do that because that's not where you make it up.
And the wheelbarrow is like, that looks super beefy down there on the weight. But if you know anything about something still being in contact with the floor, you're not lifting it all the way off the ground, right? You're just lifting it up to be able to walk with it. This was kind of inspired just by that handstand walk farmer carry combo. And really that comes from like handstand push up. It comes from Diane, right? It comes from that deadlift handstand complementary movement pattern. The wheelbarrow feels like a farmer carry when you push it. But when you turn around and pull it, like kind of like the plow that year at the games when they did the back to back to back, and it's behind you, and most people are going to be switching their grip and doing this underhand, it is just very unique with what it does to your upper back and what it does to your shoulders. It just doesn't feel at all like it felt on the way down. So they're going to go handstand walk 50, come back 50. They're going to go down 50, back 50, down 50, back 50, and then jump. So all their stuff will kind of be down on the start mat side. And I'm super excited about this. The 11-minute cap is super generous. As we've seen on Friday and Saturday, the volume has been pretty high on several of the workouts. But this workout in an interval format, like I said, fast time's around 8 minutes. Only 6 of that is work time. Like, the volume isn't crazy here at all on anything. And then as we see in the finale, the volume is very low on the finale. So I try to be really mindful, making the workouts hard, right? Making them hard enough to separate people who are really kind of pretending to act the part of a games athlete, but then also like having it fast and having it more execution based on the last day was the move based on the first 4 events. If the first 4 events weren't that, I wouldn't feel like I needed to make this last day a little bit more high stakes, high risk, high execution.
Do you think because of the unique fatigue that the wheelbarrow creates pulling it, that they'll go into the double unders with the handstand walk and they'll be like, wait a minute, like you'll have trips or resets because of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the confidence level of someone to drop the wheelbarrow and immediately kick up versus just take a quick shakeout. I mean, that's a difference in 3 or 4 double unders right there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I definitely think luckily for testing, the people that did it were all so confident on their hands and to transition fast that it really gave us a good idea of, like, especially with the time cap, do we need to adjust it to make it shorter? Do we need to adjust it to make it longer? Can you put Carolyn's question back up there?
Yep,
I think it was a good question.
Yeah, will athletes be relying on the judges' stopwatches for each interval? Do you think we could see any issues with that in close races?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think this workout, Boz gave a ton of feedback on as far as what our plan was with the possible scenario of people starting too early or a judge missing a time and starting late. And the judging team, the scoring team, the appeals team, I think we spent the most time on this workout internally trying to just make sure we got it right. And what we're going to do is every lane is going to have 2 judges. One judge is only responsible for counting double unders and then getting the start and stop time when they run and touch the chest piece and making sure that's accurate with the main judge who's judging everything. They're counting the double unders. They're making sure the standards on the wheelbarrow are being upheld, and they're making sure the handstand walk standards are being upheld. So we have reinforcements. We have, it's a really good question because I think a lot of people are like, this sounds cool, but it could be a mess if like you don't communicate well. The judging team is incredible, and the communication with the athlete is going to be really good. Carolyn was at Crucible the year we did this format for the dumbbell standard, right? We did mandatory rest, 10, 10, 10. And in that same way, right? Like you get done with your interval as you're walking back, your judge should be telling you, hey, you're going to go at 3:05. I'm going to tell you at 2:55. And then you get down on a knee, 10 seconds. And then hand goes in the air. And then we go. And you have that second judge too to say, yep, I got the double under count. Yep, that's what time she starts. I think I'm really confident that we're going to execute this and it's going to be really fun for sure. And the athletes are going to have a chance to touch this after the athlete briefing. So don't miss the brief.
Yeah, Thursday evening.
And it's on Rogue's website. I mean, anyone that has a dog sled 1.2 can go on and order the accessory kit and you're good to go. It would definitely be worth seeing what it feels like before the competition.
How fast can Bill and Katie get it to you?
Oh, I think if you ordered it like today or tomorrow, you would have it by the end of next weekend. So you'd have almost a full week with it before you had to leave.
Yeah. And finally, perfect square, 49 toes to bar, 7 overhead squats, 255, 175. Fast, and probably we'll see some carnage on this one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would say short, but not fast. And what I mean by that is this is not like a punch it workout. This is a short workout that is going to have a lot of separation. And for the fastest people, it's going to be sub 2. And I only think that because the 2 fastest testers were like 218 and 230. And both of them broke the toes to bar like into a few sets. And they weren't super, super confident, right? Like if I see this workout and I think about Danielle Brandon, who has the best shoulder position in CrossFit, and she's going to walk to the bar with pace, clean, and jerk grip overhead squat it, maybe squat jerk the first one and just crank. Like I don't see any scenario where she's not under 2 minutes. Like even if she breaks up the toes to bar into 3 sets. I just think the level of confidence with this technical of a squat cannot be understated. It's the reason why I wanted to do this one, and then I built the deadlift around it, because the deadlift to me with a barbell is like the antithesis of a heavy overhead squat. This is so technical and so positional that in a deadlift is just rip it, right? And just stand up, and that's all you got to do. So thick and quick, 4 thick rope climbs, 3 overhead squats at 245, 165. That was 12 years ago, which is crazy to think about. Last event of the CrossFit Games. No, before Double Grace.
second to
So last time on the floor. 2016, they did a set of 10 overhead squats at 225, 155, and then a set of 5 to finish that chipper. This is very appropriate. And I mean, talk about testing. Like, I thought maybe I just wanted to use 245. 64 and 8 workout from regionals was pull-ups and overhead squats at 205. And I was like, maybe 245 is right. And I bumped it up a little bit and was just like, when we get it tested, we'll know. And 3 of them finished under 4. 2 of them finished around 230 or under, and then 1 didn't finish. So I was like, hey, this is perfect. Like, I think what I said on what I said to Peter when he was there making content was, if someone has to go unbroken to go to the CrossFit Games, I want them to be able to. And what I mean by that is, if I went up a digit and went 8 and 64, no one is doing the 64 unbroken. Everyone is like, I can't even take a chance to do that. That would be stupid. But 50 or 49, there are people who are like, if I have to, I'm just going to have to try. Like, I got to try to throw a haymaker. But I think the differences in like who can do 2 sets, who can do 3 sets on the toes to bar, who can get to the bar, who has to get it to the back rack and then adjust their hands and then push jerk it and then overhead squat versus does someone think they can try to snatch it? Maybe. Versus, like I said with Danielle, who can have that narrow grip overhead squat where they can just get it locked and go. Like, there's a lot of levels to a workout that's 2 to 4 minutes. And I think this workout for the fastest people is like a sub 2 minute test. But I think if you want to go to the games, you have to finish it. I would be shocked if someone made the games that doesn't finish this workout.
And for people, if you want to see the most efficient way, I think you watch Fraser in 2014, how he gets into the position for the overhead squat. I think it's the fastest with the least amount of failure, efficiency wise. Rich gets there the same speed, but freaking almost loses the games on it. And he ends up saving it. But the way Matt did it is the most efficient way. If you want to see, like, this is how you need to go. If you want to go the fastest to get into it, obviously a squat snatch is the fastest, but I don't think that's smart.
I think it's a little too heavy for that.
For anybody. I don't think it's smart for anybody after 49 toes to bar. I just don't.
Yeah. After the whole weekend, I don't think the shoulders are going to feel like you're confident enough to do that. So
no, and like, even if you had like a 340 snatch, I don't think it's smart.
Were the people that tested it who were close to 4 or didn't finish, was that failing or having to take extra time on the overhead squats?
Yeah, just not being confident in that overhead position to where that I could get it there and keep it there for 2 or 3, but not for 7. I do think the 7 is a good number here too. If it was like 5, if it was 50 and 5, I think those last couple, when people are starting to shake and they want to drop, but they're fighting and they're fighting and they're fighting, I think 7 with this load is the right number. But the cap is definitely aggressive here. And I kind of am in the camp that I don't really like people standing out on the floor by themselves, just failing over and over again, like on the last workout. If they just can't do the thing, if they just can't do it, I'd rather them just be like, all right, cool. Can we hit this buzzer so that I can, I'm good.
I think it's more than a generous cap for the people that can do it. Like, if you are able, you should be able to do it under the cap.
What do you mean by able?
Like, if you can actually do 7 overhead squats unbroken from the floor, there is nothing, and you're fit enough to make this competition, there is nothing stopping you from getting it under 4 minutes. There shouldn't be a reason you don't get it under 4 minutes if you are physically capable of doing it.
This is an interesting point. This workout is better than Gwen.
Well, I want to see it.
They
I want to
test
see
a
it play
similar
out.
thing, though.
I don't think you can say that until you see it play out, and then you can make a judgment.
Classic John answer. I just think it's interesting because you're essentially, you're not mandating that they do it unbroken, but like, kinda.
If you want
That's
to
a
go to
good
the
point.
game,
Yeah, I don't think anyone that fails an overhead squat. I think if you fail an overhead squat, it's going to be hard to finish. Period. And I think if you fail an overhead squat, you're probably not going to the games.
and we have like a Briggsy like moment where she did it. She's gonna go to the games, and then she just can't freaking do the last workout. Like then it might be better than Gwen. But I want to see that play out before I make that judgment call.
Before JR leaves, do you think it was a bad thing or a good thing that Sam, from an athletic standpoint, not from a storytelling aspect, that Sam didn't make it back to the games?
He's trying to trap you, JR, and you know it.
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no, no,
I'm-
I'm not. I know what he's asking.
Did the fittest make it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, do I think she was one of the fittest people in the world that year? Absolutely. But the easy argument is, well, she didn't prove it, and you have to prove it. Just like, do I think Rich, by all metrics, was probably the fittest person in the world his first year, but because he couldn't climb a rope, he didn't win? Yeah. Like, but I think like that's why you have to do the test. And I think that a situation like that handstand walk that year, or like a really heavy barbell, or strict ring muscle ups, I think that's why you run the test, and that's why you have to be prepared for anything, because you never know when you're going to have a hole that gets exposed.
You made a point. I can't remember what movement we were talking about, but it's like at that point, especially in 2014, she should have been able to do handstand walks. What movement were we talking about that? Where you were? Oh, it's the handstand walk obstacle. Like, you're like, at this point, guys, you have to be able to do this.
Well, what's crazy is that AAI obstacle debuted at this stage, not at the games. It was at this stage in 2018, and they had to go 2 passes to the pistols and then 2 passes back to the muscle ups. Like,
harder. Like you're gonna
it
feel
was
these
was really hard. And they did the bench press before that, so like they're not feeling great in the shoulders anyway. But it was on the day before. But that was like kind of a thing where like you just expected it at the games in like 2019, and then you didn't expect it in 2020 because it was at the ranch, and then you expected it in 21, and like every year there was just a handstand walk obstacle course.
Mm-hmm.
But then they just stopped programming them all together. I don't know if it was a partnership thing or whatever. And so I was like, hey, I mean, this thing's been out since 2018. Obviously, I had them to use for Crucible, but I was like, I should probably just bring this back just to make sure that like people are at least still doing it. And what happened last year, like Reese and the Wells sisters and all those younger athletes, Ellie Larson, Lydia Fish, they were making that workout an aerobic workout.
Yeah.
Which was like, should have been very, really, I think it speaks to that younger generation of those coaches were like, hey, they grew up on this thing always being something you just had to do. So just learn the skill and then you'll have it forever.
Right.
And then I think it goes to show you most people target their training to what they think the test is going to be, not to what CrossFit preaches as far as being ready for anything, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Which do you think that is good or bad?
I think it can be both. But I also think that the less good you are at the things that are most likely to show up, then the less time you should be spending on anything that's on the ends of the spectrum. Yeah. So
you always talk about like the one workout that was kind of like your centerpiece and everything else was built off of it. Was that semifinal Nate?
No, the workout that I build everything off of isn't in this competition.
No.
So stay tuned.
No, it just
Surprise event 7.
no, it
The
just
trail run makes an appearance.
it's just the first workout that I had programmed after last year for this ended up just getting changed and like subbed out. So maybe one day it'll fit. But it was interesting that I really knew though, that I wanted to do the finale like that, like a 64-8 type finale, because I think really, really fast sprinty finales were always something we expected with all the thruster rope climb variations, with the muscle up into the clean ladder, which Torian is doing, which is really cool on the snatch ladder this year. We just expected those, hey, stand up and it's going to be over in 2 minutes, but it's going to be so exciting. And then we went away from that to these slower burn type finales where you got to enjoy them a little bit longer. And it just like, it kind of just goes with trends. And Rich kind of brings back a sprint finale, like a true sprint finale this year, which was cool to see. And I just kind of knew that I wanted to do something in that like 2 minute, sub 2 minute range. And so that one I would say was like the most flagship, and then the 50s chipper, those two. So the first one and the last one, and then everything else kind of got built around it.
Magic City had a sprint finale too.
Yep.
And
yep.
what's funny is like we weren't worried about it, but it's still so nerve wracking. Like if I mess up one thing and I'm blown, like I could.
Yeah, I don't think that like I don't think more than a couple workouts, so a third of the test and like a 6 event competition needs to just be, oh, this is just execution, whether it's a skill execution or whether it's just like a, can I not get a no rep and go fast execution. But I think a couple times, like we need to race and then seconds need to matter. Like that needs to be part of the sport. So having a couple of those in there where like one little mistake can like punch your ticket or not, I think is good to have, as long as they're just not all like that. And they're not all, oh, everything has so much separation because all the movements are so heavy or they're so difficult or whatever. So
to me, I like that, but not when it's double unders. I hate the execution thing being double unders.
So does Carolyn.
No, I think it's a reasonable. I think it's understandable to feel that way. Sure.
And tell me if she went to freaking California, because I guess I don't know who's doing that now. This is going to be a Lydia Fish disappointment 2.0. Because if we remember at Crash, she was in second place or third place, and then overhead squats at the very end got her. And this is all heavy overhead squats again. It's going to be sweet, sweet redemption, or a Brent Fikowski like crushing defeat.
I think that one, those are 18 months apart. So I think that the amount of time in between to work on things, which I know she has, and she's obviously extremely fit right now, all the competition she's done this year. I also think that workout being legless into heavy regular overhead squat and then thick rope climb into thick bar overhead squat was a little bit more compounding than this workout. I don't know that toes to bar fatigue Lydia's grip and she feels an overhead grip position like a rope climb. I don't know that, but I think that the stimuli can be compared. I just think the length of the workout is a lot different, and I would be very surprised if that perceived weakness or that exposed hole has not been filled. I would be really surprised.
I hope so. I hope it has. That's just the first thing I thought of when I saw that workout.
She doesn't have many of them, and she's got beautiful overhead position, which is what you need for a workout like this. So
the field's a little bit harder though than it was at Crash, whichever she was going against it. Like it feels the same vibe, and I feel like she's going to be right in the thick of it, of like she can go or she might not go. Right, it's all going to be.
That field was really good.
Tensions are going to be high.
Do you know who's in that field, off the top of your head?
Kerstetter was in that field, wasn't she? But she was like 6th or something.
Olivia, Caroline Stanley, Fee.
Reese.
Mm-hmm.
No, Reese wasn't that.
Reese wasn't there.
But that year was loaded for the females. It actually was very similar to like a semifinal field. But yeah, that was Just shows how old I'm getting. That feels like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Dude, I'm just saying it would be so beautiful if she punched her ticket with an event like that. Is all I'm saying.
As almost like a redemptive type thing.
Yeah. Or heartbreaking. It could go one way or the other.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the athletes looked almost slaughtered at the end of that Crash workout, Whereas with this one, I don't think like they'll
No,
probably
yeah, I
look
don't think-
fine
yeah.
going into the 220 or the 175 overhead squat.
Yeah, like they do the strict handstand push-ups and the kettlebell snatches, so they go low to overhead. But then a lot of the overhead is gymnastics, and for someone like Lydia with that gymnastics background, someone like Danielle, someone like Alexis Raptis, like like Haley, like the ones who are better gymnasts, I think will feel a lot better when the barbell gets overhead than some of the ones that just don't have that good shoulder position and don't move more freely through the body weight movements, if that makes sense.
You said
Yeah.
double unders was the crux on that one workout, on the wheelbarrow workout, the
I
double
think
unders?
it's the most important to execute that than
Okay.
any of the other three versus like, oh, you got a penalty on the wheelbarrow because you didn't walk far enough and cross the line. That's a penalty. Or, hey, you kicked up and your hand was on the tape line and you have to go back. Like those things will happen in this event too. But I think the double under speed is important, but I think more so the double under accuracy is important, the most important thing. And then at the very, very top, like who wins the workout, it's probably going to come down to handstand walk speed. Yeah.
Haley might go to California.
Nah, man, I think she's locked into it. She actually talked to her today. She's one of the few people that has a D ball, and she was already
Does she got a jump rope? Because that's all
She
she,
was-
needs. I don't.
she
She,
was already-
doesn't need
she
a
was-
D-ball, JR.
she
She
was
needs a jump
already,
rope every
uh,
freaking day for the rest of her life.
well, she's
That's what
not.
she needs.
I guess she's not even worried about it. She
You
was
too,
rip- she was
Carolyn.
ripping
There's
it
no
on.
reason not to be good at freaking double unders by now. Gosh, it's an elementary skill. Good grief.
She qualified for the games doing 200 beaded, right?
Who, Haley?
No, Carolyn.
Caroline.
Yeah, I know. She just, she's
Caroline's
You
just
just
really good
want to
with
give her a
step
hard time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't count.
I mean, they get their own jump rope. It's one of the few
I don't count
competitions
Legends
anymore.
for
You
anything.
get to
Either
bring your
Dallon's
own.
at the top of the mountain, or I'm not giving Legends a lot of credit for testing fitness.
No, I'm yeah, again, I mean it's like
No offense
Yeah.
to Carolyn. Carolyn's very
But-
fit. She would have made it regardless. But
I'm really I'm happy to get there, get on site, set everything up. I mean, trying to just talking to the workouts about, with the internal people is, I mean, part of this whole thing is, being able to do it, being so grateful to do it, but also to like, let's kind of like show and tell. That's what I tell people. It's kind of like getting to show people what you've been working on for so long, and like either they like it or they don't. And that's kind of the beauty of it being like an artistic expression, is that some people will hate it, some people will like it, some people will just say it's okay.
The interesting thing about what you did is like in art, like you can just totally overdo it and you can make something that's so like you're like, oh man, everybody's gonna love this, but you're doing art for artists instead of art for the people who are looking at it. And so like the really like, the key brush strokes that you put in that like kind of highlight the whole thing, they're like so nuanced and small. I just think it really is really
Well, that goes to JR asked me like when Savon and Taylor were talking through what the burpee to target was, and JR asked me like, do you think there's many things that are you don't know based off of reading what the workouts were that were published? So I go back through it, and honestly, like you go through it and it's like, no, this is like just CrossFit. Like there aren't too many things that are like a twist to it or something that you would not expect, but just a couple things here and there. And so like,
Yeah, I think-
that goes to your point, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, people ask me about this kind of stuff all the time. Like, are we going to see the seated strict, and that's going to be the Nate thing? Or are we going to see like trying to introduce a new movement with new standards that people haven't performed in competition, that judges haven't judged in competitions, is not something I'm interested in doing at this level. I think this is way more serious. Like I take this a lot more seriously than like to try to scratch a selfish creative itch. Like I can do that with affiliate
Crash.
programming.
You can
I
do
can do
that
that
at
at
Crash.
I can do that
Yeah,
at Crucible. I can be like, hey, I wonder if you can do this and if it would work, or if it just like, if it flops, it flops. But like my judges are my members and they'll just be like, hey, I'll do whatever you say. Like it's not sending people to CrossFit games. I think that's a really important distinction when it comes down to movements that you pick. Like when's the last time someone did a D-ball squat clean? Like maybe never, maybe like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. But it's not a crazy thing. It's a ball instead of a barbell. Like I think the little insertions of maybe something has a little bit more adaptation to it. Like the wheelbarrow might be remembered, but it's not the star of that.
It's not the crux
at all. It's the least important. And that's kind of another reason why I wanted to use it. 'Cause I'm like, this is just something cool that people probably will never get to do in a competition of this magnitude. So, luckily Rogue really likes Wilson, because that's the only reason why they say yes to a lot of stuff. He's built a really good relationship with him. So
the wheelbarrow is a great example of that, because it's like, I feel like programmers will find a thing that they're like, we have to fit this in, and then they'll just brute force it in, and it kind of like screws up the whole workout almost. Whereas this is just like, it fits. There's not a whole lot of ways to, like, you can't really mess up the push and pull on that. And it's just like, and everyone, like, there's no way I'll ever forget this workout, ever.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think when you get like me and Wilson together, it might just be it's definitely paralysis by analysis. Brian can probably speak to that, but like each wheelbarrow is going to have 7 collars on it. It's going to have a collar on top of the plates, so that if it tips over, which it's not, that the plates can't fall off. It's going to have a collar on each side of the handles so that it can't be pushed in or pulled out. And then it's going to have a collar on each side of the high temp plate, which is the wheel, so that not only can it not come off somehow, but it can't move. So like we have like literally thought of the probably overkill, not probably, but we have thought of all the possible scenarios with an implement like that at speed. Because it was used one year at Rogue. I think it was during a ruck event. They just like, they moved it down the field, and then they left it and did like over-unders and rope climbs and hill runs, and they came back and dragged it back to the finish line. And it's such a cool like way that you can use that sled. Hopefully they get freaking 40 people buying them, buying attachments.
If I'm Ty Jenkins, I go and unclip all of Austin's collars right before the event. And I just like clip, 10 seconds, go.
That'll be my Tyler bet, is picking who flips it on accident.
If you've seen them, they look really hard to flip.
You could not flip it if you tried. It's crazy. It's like the way that it's built and the amount of weight that's going to be on it.
It doesn't come very far up. I mean, like it's not like it's this.
Well, it comes up as tall and as long as your arms are,
Right.
Yeah.
All right, JR, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
2 weeks from now, I'll be there. I'm sure you'll be in Knoxville before that, getting set up. But you'll be here sooner than later. But thanks for coming out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to Wilson, especially for just giving me another year to try to not mess up. It was great.
Try to not mess up.
Well, you set the bar very high.
That's enough. That's enough of that. All right, see you guys.
You're the best, Greg.
Colton Mertens will be out at Syndicate Crown, looking to get his ticket. And in the meantime, you can go to paperstcoffee.com and grab yourself some Frost. You can get all kinds of coffee. You can get Kyra's Rogue Bundle, all kinds of great coffee. Go to paperstcoffee.com. John, French predictions.
Yes, sir.
Coming in late, but they are here.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I was in traffic.
Yeah, you're in traffic, and French John in the house.
Oh, bonjour. Oui. Oh, I got a
right.
croissant and some pics.
Your voice is too deep for that. You gotta go up about.
Croissant and some pics.
But we were talking. You do look very French in this photo, like beyond the outfit.
Eyes, like super tired.
That's what
the
French guys. That's what the French guys look like, John.
You also lost 50 pounds in this picture.
It's better than the clavicular picture. I hated that. I hated that.
Just wait. You'll find out what Syndicate Crown has in store for you. All right. So, the French Throwdown. Looking at the roster, there's some
heavy hitters.
The top, there's some pretty good talent there. I think it drops off maybe a little faster than we would hope for, but
there will be names that miss out.
Yeah, and because of that, you only went to the top 10. You were like, no, we're not going 11 to 20. You're just top 10, which is all that matters because only 3 men and 3 women will qualify for the CrossFit Games out of the French Throwdown this weekend. Let's take a look. And here it is. On the women's side, Amy Kringle, Mirham Van Roer, and Lucy McGonigal are the 3 that are going to take it, according to John. Jason Hopper is going to go steal a baguette and a game spot. Harry Lightfoot, Moritz, Mortiz, Feebig is in 3rd, and then everybody else can try at Mad Fitness Festival in a couple weeks from now. Amy Kringle, best in the field by far.
No, I actually think the programming stacks up really well for Mirham. But it's just hard to bet against Amy when she kind of dominated the World Fitness Project field. And I don't give a ton of credence to that, but like when you beat Laura Horvath at anything, like, you know, you're probably pretty serious, and it's just hard for me to pick against her. She's been consistently extremely good, but the programming does stack up really well for Mirham, and I wouldn't be surprised if she gave her a run for it, but I just couldn't put her ahead of Amy.
Mirham Van Roer, obviously great at the open, good online. 2nd place? Is it just the nature of the field, or is there anything that is not there that you feel good that boosts her chances to actually make it to the games?
Like she's too high or too low?
That she would be too high in your predictions.
I
mean, Claudia Gluck's been there, Lucy McGonigal, obviously. I mean, Miriam did great at the games, but like, has she shown enough to be projected 2nd?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. If you look at the programming, there is a running kind of rock row thing that I think Amy Kringle will destroy everybody at, but Mirham was like 7th in the run. Like, she's gonna be fine. And this is where she'll get ahead of people like Claudia Gluck and Elisa Fuliano and
Lucy
Manganese. And then there's a 6-rep max front squat. I think she's gonna win that one. I give her 100 points on that one. And then what else is there? There were like 5 events that I thought, the thrusters and the line facing burpees. I think she has 100 points on that one. So we already got 3 events out of 6 events. One of the events is a handstand walk. She's not bad at handstand walking. No, she's not going to beat the Reese Littlewoods or Leah Storins of the world in handstand walking, but she's not bad. So like middle of the pack there. There's just not a place where I think, she's going to get hurt a lot in this workout. And then the bar muscle up, snatch, cow bike workout. Like, I think she'll be one of the fastest snatch cyclers / bar muscle.
I think bar muscles is probably better for her too.
Than rings, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't see where Claudia Gluck has her home runs. There's not a gymnastics dense 30 ring muscle up workout where Claudia Gluck can win these workouts. And there are workouts she'll be good at, but there will also be workouts that she's middle of the pack on. And I'm just honestly though, like if Elisa Fuliano could win the whole competition. I have her fifth, but it's because of Wadapalooza. That wasn't that far from now. It was what, 2 months? 2 months ago?
Yeah.
1 month ago?
What,
month and a half ago?
It was in March. 2 months
Didn't
ago.
she have something going on?
2 months ago. No, that's my point. She was hurt.
Yeah.
So like couldn't do events hurt. And I only have her at 5th because I don't know what she is. Like, she shows up to competitions not great. And then she shows up to competitions and kills it. Like, she's very gonna be at the competition no matter what, and sometimes she's great, and sometimes she shouldn't be there because she's hurt. And like she didn't do half of Waterpalooza, so it's just hard to know what she's gonna bring. But the programming is great for Elisa Fuliano. Why is that a thing?
It's a thing with one person.
Yeah, but why?
It's just something that we love about you, John.
Why that's bad to say.
It's not bad to say. I'm just saying that one person hones in on this.
I know. You think those are the same people? You think this
Yes,
is a burner?
that's the
you think
same
that's
person.
a burner? That's a crazy burner.
I always thought of Claudia, she'll come out of like nowhere sometimes and do really well. And the same with Elisa. Like they're the two people that I doubt all the time and they always pull it off. The difference is Elisa's better than Claudia.
Oh, Elisa very well could win the French Throwdown. Oh, the programming stacks up for her better than any of the other women.
Yeah, Claudia needs more high skilled gymnastics.
Correct.
Just
and
not
same
there.
for Reese. Like there's too much stuff that goes against them for me to put them in there. I think Lucy will be very sneaky and just very like fourth place through the whole thing, like for every event. I'm saying not. Like, I don't think she'll win an event.
Lucy could take second in the front squat. Pretty strong.
Yeah, but there will be somebody that comes out.
There might be some other like,
Jennifer Muir
specialists.
and Mirhan Monroe. That'll be your one.
Yeah, those two. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, Lucy will just not be bad at anything and end up in third place. And if it is an event, what's the last event? The last event, you can really, it's a shorter event, right?
It's the deadlifts and the walking lunges. 21-15-9, deadlifts, cleans, then shoulder to overhead.
Lucy's a very good barbell cyclist. Like, I just see if she has to go for it versus Claudia Gluck, I'm going to take Lucy in that battle.
At least it's not sumo deadlift high pulls.
I've never heard somebody say cyclist, barbell cyclist. They always say cycler.
I'm sorry.
I like the cyclist. It's better.
I like it.
I like
It's so much better.
Boy, you're just really honing in on my speak.
Philip got me going on this.
That's my
This is a
reasoning.
good point from PC. Manon has been dealing with some injuries. And she's no longer with Kotler.
Coaching herself, then I'll dock her down another couple.
Either way, she's not qualifying.
I mean, I just think the other girls are fitter than her. What?
Either he's just being so morbid about it.
Yeah,
Either
yeah.
way, she sucks. So
No, she's not qualifying. John had her sixth. Even if she's worse, it's still not going to qualify.
But anyway, that's my reasoning. I just think Lucy, she's not going to have any home runs, but she's not going to be bad at anything. She's going to be pretty good at all of it. She'll surprise in some places, and she's not going to let you down in other places. So I believe in that consistency. She's shown that throughout most of the competitions we've seen her. If there were more dense gymnastics, I think Claudia could make it. I think the programming is really good for Mirham, and I think Amy Kringle is probably just the fittest person there. I would not be surprised if Elisa Fuliano, she is the one that I put her fifth because I have no idea what to expect from her, and she was really hurt last time.
If she's fully healthy, does she qualify?
I might pick her to win. If she's fully healthy, yeah.
what if she's 80% healthy?
Then I might pick her fifth.
What about 90%?
That's what I'm banking on. I honestly 90% fifth, 80% ninth.
It's a possibility.
That's what I'm banking on. But the programming is very good for Elisa Fuliano. I just don't know what to expect from her, so that's why I have her there.
Just playing in my bid, John. Damn it.
I'm sorry.
Reese Littlewood, eighth. Just going through Syndicate's programming, would she have been better off staying in Knoxville in the States or going to French?
I think the deadlift workout would have crushed her. I think she would be phenomenal.
But don't you think the six rep front squat would do the same thing with her at French?
Yeah. I'm just going one for one right now. I'm just thinking. I think the field is a little bit better at Syndicate.
But there's more gymnastics.
Not far off.
More gymnastics.
They're very close. I think she wins the running GHD workout straight up with the rope climbs. She won it at Crash. So
Yeah.
First workout was the aerobic one.
The squats.
I actually don't think she does well in that. I don't think she's like the greatest of the squats, but she'll be mid-pack. And then
the running one, she wins.
The running one, yeah, we already said that one. The
Deadlifts.
deadlift one, I think she gets crushed. The wheelbarrow one.
Well,
Nate, she'll do very good, but I don't think she wins. I think she just does like fifth.
Wheelbarrow one, she'd do good.
Wheelbarrow one, she might win the wheelbarrow one because it's about handstand walk speed. And then the last one, I mean, I think she's in Lydia Fisher's camp. I just think the overhead squats
could
hurt her. I honestly think it's probably pretty equal for her at French and Syndicate. It's I don't know. She should have went to Africa or Asia. I think she would have made it. I think she could beat Saria Meha. I do. I really, really, really do. I think French and Syndicate both with the programming in the fields. The French field is really good.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
The women especially. The women are really good.
I mean, that's the thing is you look at Europe, both the French Throwdown and Mad Fitness Festival, which is the same weekend as Syndicate. The thing you have in Europe is they're 2 weeks apart. A lot of the athletes have done and signed up for both. So like you have a lot of the top athletes going to go to both. So it's not like you have them splitting up for Syndicate and NorCal, where you're going to have the field split versus like both doing the same competition, right? And then Legends, with only 2 spots, you only had a handful of people that were going to go to that you would expect to have qualified, right? And then Mayhem is just Mayhem. So like Europe is in a different situation in that I think Amy Kringle, Mirham, Claudia, Lisa, Muir, like all of them I think are also signed up for Mad Fitness Festival. So you have a lot of the same people. Gabby goes to Mad. So I think from the standpoint of this like top 5 to top 10, those that would be like a chance to qualify for the games, like it's pretty good from what you might expect. So on the men's side, Hopper, Lightfoot, Feebig. Does Hopper win all 6?
No, he doesn't win them all. I don't think he wins the thruster line facing burpee workout.
Okay. But
the rest
other
will
than
win.
How far when you went through this, how far down did you have him in any event?
I mean, I think that'll be his worst event. I think
he'll take 6th.
No, I don't think he'll take 6th. That's too much. I think he'll take like 4th. The 6 rep front squat, there will be people that beat him in that. He'll be fine, but there will be people that beat him in that.
Jason's a slow squatter for 6.
6 is a lot. There will be people that beat him in the handstand walk. Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna win. Like, I think Dallin's Legends performance will be more dominant per se than Hopper's at French Throwdown. But he'll win event 1, which is the run row. He probably should win event 2, so it'll look very dominant. And then event 3, I think he'll get top 5. Event 4 is a chipper with rope climbs and bench press. He'll win that. So the first 4 events, he's going to win 3. But then I don't think he wins the front squats. I think there will be multiple people that beat him. I don't think he wins the handstand walk. I think multiple people will beat him. So, and then event 6 is deadlifts and lunges and weightlifting chipper, basically. That is a workout that I think Moritz Feebig could just send it and win. Like Hopper might win that one, or Callum Clements, some big guy that can just really hold on to things. The weight's not crazy heavy. And Jason will have it sewed up by then. So like he's not incentivized to go hard on it.
but I think he'll win 3 of the 6 events. And
I'm going to put my money on Fabian Hermans to do well twice.
yeah, Fabian has home runs for sure. But yeah, but I don't think, and the thing is, everybody else is going to do bad at something, and he's not going to do bad at anything and then win 3 events. So he'll end up in first by a lot. I think it's very safe. I think it was a smart call. I definitely think he wins by more than if he did Syndicate. I don't think it's a given he would win Syndicate.
Moritz isn't going. Tom Kingdon is going.
You can always wish, but that's not the case.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
What is Tom Kingdon good at other than
Everything.
handstand walking?
Everything.
You've been hoping for this for 2 years.
Dude,
Tyler.
he's this close, dude. He's almost qualified in 3 different ways.
And he never has.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Tyler
Yet.
Christopher of Europe.
No, he isn't.
He's
No,
the Tyler
don't you
Christopher
dare.
of Europe.
That is not your award to give away.
basically
Please
just
back
quits.
off.
He's basically just quits. We should call him Tom Quitton. That's what we should call him. Tom, I'm not against you. Tyler is making this happen. I actually like
No,
him
I'm
a lot
not.
of times.
If Tyler didn't root for him, he might have a chance. But
Tyler has never been good at picking successful people.
It's not
it's
true.
true.
It
It's
is true, Tyler. You're amazing at picking.
I didn't give him the death kiss,
You
which
have
is
a
to say
curse.
he's the Tyler Christophel. If I give you the Tyler Christophel award, you're never going to the games again.
I know, but you haven't. You don't.
And
have
Jorge is the only one who has made that not true because he cheated.
He didn't cheat. Taylor did it for him.
Yeah, it's not. You can't blame Jorge. All right, we're gonna go to some blind rankings. Yeah, we'll do some blind rankings. Name that athlete. We are working on a little project. We might do some interactions with some fans. Try to beat John in the future.
We're thinking like a stump the Schwab kind of a deal. So if you think you know CrossFit and you want to go against me, we're going to make it possible, and you could win money.
And you could win money. That is what we're working on. So more to come on that here soon. And while we work on that, we're going to bring back some blind rankings. So yeah, it's this week's theme is Hollywood.
All right, get blind, Tyler.
Hollywood.
I can't. I don't have anything.
He doesn't have anything. I don't know how you're not. Well, we're no longer
Put something over
sponsored
your
by.
shirt. Put your shirt over your head.
That's weird.
There you go, right there. Just there. No. Yeah, put it over your headphone. Put it over your headphones. I want your head to like pop out still. There you go. Yep. Just like that. Yeah.
This is brought to you by Mayhem.
Can you
I
hear
don't
me,
think
Tyler?
This is gonna stay. Yeah.
Tyler, that looks so beautiful. You look like a baby crowning.
This is not gonna work.
Oh, you look so good, Tyler.
I don't want to do this one blind.
No, Tyler.
Yeah.
No.
All right, no blind. Here we go.
Turn around.
Then you won't be able to hear me.
Yeah, here we go. All right, we're just gonna do the old school blind rankings.
No, this is not fun at all.
Yeah. John, just play along.
I hate this.
That's a great comment.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Which CrossFit Games athlete could have a career in Hollywood at some point, whether it's now, later, etc.? All right, here we go. First up, Miss Domit.
1.
Yeah.
1?
Yeah. I think
Immediately 1.
Wow. Why?
she's the prettiest.
She's got the look.
Yeah.
Okay.
She also has the attitude. I 100%.
I agree that she likes Dragon Ball Z. She's a pretty
weird,
girl that
dude.
likes Dragon Ball Z. Dude, there's so many guys that like go head over heels for that. Like I agree with Tyler.
All right, Miss Domit, we already solved who's the winner, but we'll find out if you guys made a mistake. Next up, Ricky.
So
five.
it's the type of Hollywood.
Dude, no.
So Danielle's
no,
going to show up in
no.
this list, right?
Yeah,
But she's-
Danielle would be fine. I think.
She's MTV Hollywood though.
Yeah,
And,
for
like,
sure, for sure.
Domit is like
Margot Robbie type Hollywood.
yeah, she's that type of Hollywood. Ricky,
Ricky's
he's in
a
Hollywood, but he's doing
No, Ricky's in Spartacus, but in the background. Ricky is one of the guys in the 300 whose abs are great, but he never talks.
oh, he's a great stand-in. Yeah, you're right.
Dude, Ricky's a 5, man. He just is.
No, I want to give him a 4. There's somebody
If
worse than Ricky.
he talks, you wouldn't understand what he was saying. Like you've got to be able to
That's the perfect
enunciate.
role for one of those.
Who was the bigger? He was on Wadcast podcast from time to time. He was the bigger guy, a Hollywood star, and he was a CrossFitter. Somebody will CrossFit will know this. I cannot remember his name, but he always played the bad guy. And Ricky would be a great bad guy. Doesn't have a speaking part. Is just like an evil dude.
All right, where are we putting Ricky?
I will seed on 4, but I get the next one.
All right, fine.
All right, next up, Harry Lightfoot.
Oh, dude. I mean, Peaky Blinders, he already has a role.
You can't use Peaky.
I mean,
Tate.
I think 3.
Tate.
I think 3 for Harry. Harry's got a personality, like a really good one. He's really likable.
But he's gonna be in like
Green Street Hooligans. Like there's so many British
he's only
movies.
in British movies.
Okay, he's British, dude. You gonna hold that against him?
What is that British like?
Ricky's Australian and can't talk. And we put him at 4.
Yeah, but you can put him in some other movies. Harry is like he is English. He's London. That's it. He's getting
There's a lot of
typecast. He's never
movies in
escaping
London.
it.
Benedict Cumberbatch, man.
Yeah, but Benedict Cumberbatch can play all kinds of people.
I think
Harry can play
Harry-
one character.
Listen, I think Harry could have an American accent.
He could do Boston. You're right.
He could, dude. He could. He could be, dude. He could. He could be in The Town. He could be in any Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie. 100%.
Where are you
Peter,
putting him?
get him to say famous movie lines, but non English ones.
Yeah, speaking of that, Pedro is going to be doing the commentary for French Throwdown on the English side. So
tune in.
tune into that. That'll be interesting.
I want to go 5, but John gets the pick on
I want
this.
to go. You want to go 3.
3. That's a better 5.
It also gives
5
us
is
more.
crazy.
It gives us
5
more
is crazy.
versatility.
He's not better than Ricky. I'm sorry.
Dude, you just like Ricky. I think Ricky would be a terrible actor. You got to memorize lines.
I said he doesn't get any lines. He's just mean. He's a villain.
All right. 2 or 5 is left. Mr. Hopper.
I think Hopper would be great. He's basically Homelander.
Hopper would be a terrible movie star.
No, he wouldn't. What are you talking about?
He gets to do like Chris Pratt before Chris Pratt got attractive.
Oh, no. I don't see that for Jason. I see Jason as being a bad guy.
It's only football movies.
You just think that because he's a football guy. I see Jason as being like the boyfriend that is the bad guy that steals your girl. You see what I'm saying? Like a movie like that, where like
Yeah, so
you're
a football
trying
movie?
to. No. That's not necessarily a football movie. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you mean. He's a college douche or a high school douche.
Well, yeah, dude, he plays that role perfectly.
I still say
And
5.
maybe he's not a douche; he's just misunderstood.
Give him 2. It's fine.
I just think that there's no way Jason is a worse actor than Ricky Garrard.
I did not expect Hopper to be number 2 on this list, but
Me either.
The next
Here
one's
we
going to
are.
be Danielle Brandon. We'll be screwed.
No.
All right, fine. Put him
Danielle
at 5. Put him at
cannot-
5. Put him at 5.
You want him at 5?
Just put him at 5. I don't. I do think Danielle Brandon is parental control in a person. The show Parental Control. You know
We'll
what I'm
find
talking
out.
about?
I know it's ringing a bell, but I can't remember it.
The MTV show.
I don't know.
What's
Anyway,
the last-
you're putting this person at number 2 between Domit and Lightfoot. Alex Gazan.
She's indie movie famous.
Yeah, listen, Alex would be really good, but it's a very specific genre. Like you know that movie Into the Wild?
Into the Wild. What happens in it?
Where he
Is it
goes
the boys?
No. He goes to Alaska. He like burns all his credit cards. This guy goes to Alaska, and then it's based on a true story, and lives his life and then he ends up
dies
dying
in the woods.
Yeah.
Alex would be good in Juno.
What is that supposed to mean?
That's not true. His CrossFit commercial, the ripoff of the Sydney Sweeney commercial, he did great.
Yeah,
and that was really hard.
Jason would be good, man. We messed this list up.
Of proven actors, Jason has the most proof.
Oh, now you're all about it. I literally said he should be 2, and you're going to push back on it because now we have Alex.
It goes Domit.
Listen, Ricky should have been 5.
Ricky.
That's all that there should be, and you have messed this list up. I think it's Abby, Jason, Harry, Alex, Ricky. You just like Ricky more.
Ricky,
You like
as
the
long
way
as he
Ricky
doesn't
looks.
talk.
Dude,
yes,
that means he's 5. That means he is
how
5.
you look is like 90% of the battle in Hollywood.
I
What
didn't
are you
even
talking
think about
about?
the Jason commercials that he freaking does. Like, dude, you're so. I cannot believe I let you talk me into. You've ruined this list. You have done. This is what happens
You
when
moved
Tyler's
Jason
not freaking blind, man. Whenever we take away the blindness, we get this freaking ridiculous list like this. What
great.
the freak
great.
are we doing, man? Good.
Look at this. Look at this. He can do any Mel Gibson character. Done. Oh, wait, wrong one. Ricky can do any Mel Gibson character.
I don't care.
period.
Mad Max.
And he doesn't even drink.
Mad Max is an overrated movie.
It is not. Oh my God! I'd leave the show.
I don't even care. Cue the Dave Castro meme.
Who cares?
That's fair. There you go. That's Abigail Domit doesn't qualify for the games next year. She could go work in Hollywood. Last up, just some news headlines. No drug testing at in-person Masters events. Good, bad. What's the solution for that? Should they do anything? John, you had a winner.
Yeah, we actually asked. We're like, hey, because we were told that there would be drug testing.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
At Magic City, and I asked like the front desk, hey, where do we go like when it's over? Because we were trying to leave like as soon as it was over. We were trying to get times to figure out when we could leave and everything, because I had to coach the next day, so like I'm needing to know how long we stay. And then the girl looked at me and she goes, I actually don't think we're drug testing. And I go, cool. All right. Sounds good. Well, if I just wanted to know if we're ready to take it. I just need to know where we need to go. Right. Marissa was freaking out because she took Mucinex, and I'm like, you gotta stop. She's one of those like doesn't want to take anything, refuses to take medicine when she's sick. Like it's ridiculous.
You eat a poppy seed bagel, it's all over.
Yeah.
Also,
it is true.
No, she told my mom. She told my mom. So she goes, yeah, I was really concerned about the biking one because I coughed all night. So I took some Mucinex. And then my mom was like, well, I hope they don't drug test for that. Like joking. And then I looked at my mom with like the meanest look because
Why would you do
I
that?
know what this is about to do. And I'm like, stop. Just stop. Go over there. Like this, I was so irritated because now she's just freaking out. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I cannot believe you did this, Mom. I was so mad, and like she didn't understand why, and obviously like it was fine, but yeah. But anyway,
I say, keep telling them you're going to test them. Keep not testing them.
I think,
and it's just like a thing.
No, I think if you're not going to test them, you should still say there is a chance that we're going to test y'all, and then sometimes do.
It's low.
Yeah, but maybe you could test the winners one year. I know it's supposed to be super expensive, but maybe just test the winners. Like,
Well, what if you just
surprise
had
test one?
So my thought is like you have, I mean, in the past, in the old regional days, or even like the semifinal days, right? Like when it had like the super regionals and it was based off the strength of schedule and like 11 people from North America East qualified. They did like 13 drug tests. So like they had the ability back then to do it. Again, they've made an extra $1.7 million doing quarterfinals. They have some extra cash in their coffer. Just do some random testing.
I think you pick the most juiced out looking person and then just say you've been selected randomly to be drug tested.
Some profiling.
Because 100% there are masters people where you're like, they're on stuff, right? Like
of all the divisions not to test.
Every competition, there's 100%. There's people in each division that you're like, okay. And you know, some of them just really look like that. And props to those people. But a lot of them.
You sure about that?
Don't. No, there are some people who are just
most
more
of
ripped
them,
out than others.
All of them don't really look like that.
Listen, JR is in the old people division.
JR
he takes his shirt
meat
off.
only.
Yeah, but if you didn't know that, these other people might just eat meat only. All I'm saying is that it doesn't hurt to test these people, right? And just 100% profile people. And then be like you've been selected, and then test them. You'll catch some, and some they'll be clean. But then just say there's drug testing, and just pick one person, right? And then it scares enough people away from doing stuff.
I have a great business idea for this.
Except for South America. South America say we're testing 1 through 40. What percentage? Here, let me just throw this out there while we're on South America. While we're on South America. If we tested 1 through 40 at Copa Sur, how many pop tests are we getting? Over 50%?
No.
I think so. Dude, we had to get to 7th place to get to a team. To get a team to the games, we had to get to 7th place. It's embarrassing.
That was also Asia a couple of years ago.
I think we just do it and see. I bet you it's over half.
My business plan for this to alleviate CrossFit's problems is give us some WADA uniforms or USADA, whoever does it. And we'll just go and make like over 50% of the athletes pee in cups. And we won't test any of them.
Dude, that's great. Yeah, why don't you just say, hey, we will be testing, and then you don't have to. Just make it pee in a cup.
Throw it away.
Yeah, but the people that have been doping and they get through, they're like, hell yeah.
But it would
placebo.
Deter some. It would deter some. That's all. And these people being like, I can't believe I just got lucky.
And they cross the finish line, you just give them a cup.
I guarantee you that these people who are juicing through the gills, like at least they'll cycle off. They'll be less juiced than before.
I didn't think about this. We would have to actually work for USADA because, like, if I'm just like, all right, dude, I need to stare at your wiener for the next 30 seconds.
No, just give them a cup and say, bring it back.
Time out.
Just bring it back in 5 minutes.
Hold on. I got to address this idiocy. And I'm sorry, Lupe. You're a great watcher of the show. You're in here all the time. This was a dumb comment. I said they had to get to Team 7 to get somebody to go to the games. Meaning, first pop, second pop, third pop, fourth pop, fifth pop, sixth pop, and then a team finally didn't pop. They didn't test 8 through 24. They just said, we need somebody that's clean. And they got to 7 before they found one person. They didn't test the rest of the field. Should they have tested the rest of the field, Lupe? It would have been insane. You're better than this, Lupe. You're better than this. I don't even know your name, but I hope we meet, and I hope I can say that you're better than this in person.
Teams only test half the athletes, too. So think about that.
That's a good point. Can you imagine being a teammate and you're doing drugs and somebody else on your team gets popped and you didn't have to test?
That was your fault there.
Whoa.
1 pop, 2
Close
pop,
call.
3 pop. You pop, me pop, spin pop.
Yeah.
No pop.
Exactly.
Let's get to that. No pop.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they need to do some type of random. even if it's like 5 tests or 6 tests, like just do a handful, scare them off, do something like that.
No crap, Lupe. No crap. And you listen, and I'm sorry that I'm going off on you a little right now, Lupe.
No, don't backpedal, John.
But there is so much dumb people in the comments that like write something that you just wrote, and I like you, Lupe, because I see your comments, and you're generally not that bad. But there's a lot of people out there that are really bad, and I just want you to be better. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair. Other news, NorCal, same weekend as Syndicate. They're going to have 7 events out there in Sacramento. So check that out. I have the schedule out there. Has anybody downloaded the World Fitness Project mobile app?
As soon as it came out.
Cool. You can download that. You will need
I did download the United app because I had to, get a flight to Syndicate.
That's cool.
You should, like around the world, like, it's a plane flight.
I should start counting your trips.
Man, the eye roll I give people, and I understand how funny this is, but when they're like, "Wait," it's like you'll go to like freaking Huddle House, and they'll be like, "Yeah, did you download the app?" Fuck, no, I didn't download the app.
You don't want an app?
I don't want another freaking app.
That's fair. You'll need a heavy medicine ball. So while you order a wheelbarrow from Rogue Fitness, you can also order a 30-pound medicine ball for the dudes. I assume all the women would have access to a 20-pound medicine ball, but you will need that for online semifinals coming up in June. Let's see.
What's the point of the app?
So there's actually a weekly training program. So they're going to give a workout every week. Since it launched last month, they were just WFP London events that were then put into the app. Nobody's put anything on the leaderboard yet. There's announcements. There's links to tickets. There's, I think they'll have stuff when it comes to their quarterly. Yeah, they just have stuff. You go download it. The link's out there on thebarbellspin.com.
John, you don't read their emails?
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
You don't want that. What else?
Well, we have to settle this real quick. It depends on how fast you say it. John, what do you say?
I don't know. I'm nervous.
If I say it,
I think I say barrow. I think I said barrow. Wheelbarrow.
If I'm saying it like I'm speaking to somebody from home, it's wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow.
That's even different.
It's wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow. Well, which one is that? I don't even know which one that is.
It's neither. It's like BUROH.
Yeah,
wheelbarrow.
That's West Virginian.
This wheelbarrow over here.
Wheelbarrow.
I probably end up actually saying barrel on accident, even though I know I should say
Is it barrow?
Yes.
It's barrow.
There's no L at the end.
Wheelbarrow.
I
still don't know which one I say. I feel like it's in the middle of what I feel like it's in the middle of those two things.
And finally, if you are into doping, you can now buy stock in the enhanced games. Their parent company is now trading on the stock market. So
do that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually,
you know what they're doing? They're the athletes that are doing it. First of all, I've heard that like Wes Kitts is like setting like world records in training like left and right.
Yeah.
And so like the swimmers are doing the same.
Breaks it off,
what I've heard is when they actually do the enhanced games and they start breaking world records, they're going to share like the peptides and stuff that they're taking. That's what I've heard.
That's cool. That's probably bad, but cool.
So I don't know if like they're taking. I think they're taking like all peptides. I don't think they're taking like trend. Like I think it's literally like legal peptides, and that's what this company, the parent company, is going to start doing, is selling and like being like some peptide health type thing on top of it. So
smart.
I think there's a lot more.
You know
to
how
it.
If you go to the NFL, you have to like do all this stuff to make sure you can rehab from CTE and all these different things. They have all these programs you can get in after and during. I think to kind of make up for the fact that they are openly juicing is like okay, talk about what you're doing. I think that's super cool. Like even just from a scientific standpoint, but then like talk about like all the testing you're doing to make sure your bloods aren't like your blood isn't as thick as like cement. And then, you know, all of the health stuff that goes into it and like kind of scare people that way to where it's like, hey, this is not as easy as it looks. Like this is a super serious, hard thing to do.
Yeah. That's all I got. 2 hours. Got JR on. John, what do you got? You got one last thing to throw out there? JY Barbell?
Oh, I mean, no, not really. Sign up
It's
for
over.
jybarbell.com if you want to get strong, or just fit. You know, it's just programming with the strength bias. Nicole PR'd her deadlift by 40 pounds today, and not even at the World Fitness Project. She hit 385.
That'll be good for Syndicate.
Yeah, the deadlift workout. I hope it gives you confidence. We were trash at Legends, so hopefully we're a little bit
It's because
better.
you weren't there.
I think it plays a little bit of the role, but it's
You're not
no,
really gonna be there at
it's
Syndicate,
no
too.
excuse. Oh, I won't be there. She won't be in the top heat, so I'll be able to be down there. Then I'll make my way over.
Okay.
If that, and I hope she hears this and takes that personal. Because I only commentate the top 2 heats, Nicole.
That's
so
it.
if I'm down
I'm
there,
gonna make you commentate all of them, John.
no, I'm gonna commentate the top team heats too. I think that's fair,
We'll
right?
see about that. We're gonna make you just work everything.
No, I have to coach.
Wilson
Yeah,
was
you know
worried.
what? No, I won't. I won't be.
This was bait, John.
No,
Why
I
did
know.
you go for the bait?
No, I know. But you know, I do want to give Sydney Smith her props because every time she comes up, I kind of downgrade her, and I do think she's kind of fit. So
I think she has a chance to actually qualify out of NorCal when you look at the roster.
I think so. I will have to see the programming, but I do want to apologize for my opinions about Sydney Smith. I think she is actually fit, and she's up and coming. And I'm wrong on. I was wrong on her. I will not be wrong anymore about her.
That's it. We'll see you guys next week.
I apologize to absolutely nobody.